So today I'm talking about a Chevy Cruze with the P0171 error code and some of the common causes and fixes for this. So what is P0171 OBDII code on a Chevy Cruze? A system too lean bank 1. And this is kind of generic, but bank 1 is always inside the engine with the number 1 cylinder, so like a 4-cylinder wouldn't matter, but a V6 or V8 it would matter. But the system too lean means that it's not getting enough gas. So basically what this is saying is that the air fuel ratio is off on this bank 1. So if it's a 4-cylinder, then there's only one bank. So the engine is having a problem with not enough gas. The onboard computers, that's what it's saying. So there's something wrong with the air fuel ratio mixture, but quite commonly it has something to do with the sensors that the computer's getting, because it uses these sensors to read this information and adjust the fuel and air ratio mixtures. So what are some common causes and fixes for this? Well, first of all, vacuum leak. It's a very common problem with the P0171. I'm going to put the links down below for everything I'm reading here. Quite commonly, it's a PVC valve, which is right here, number 2. On these Cruzes, right underneath this top cover, you could pop that off, and there's the PVC valve right there. You can listen real close and see if that thing's making a big whooshing sound, like a sucking noise. If it is, it's likely bad. It's likely the problem right there. That's a pretty common cause and fix right there. But it could also be other things. You gotta look around and see if you got like a hose leaking or something like that. If it's a really big leak, then it'll be really obvious because you'll be able to hear it. But smaller leaks can sometimes be hard or more difficult to find. A mechanic shop will use a smoke machine and feed smoke into the system, and it'll come out the leak, and they'll be able to spot it easier that way. That's something to keep in mind. Is number 1 is a vacuum leak, and very commonly the PVC valve. So take a look for that. Next up is a bad oxygen sensor. There's 2 oxygen sensors, one located before the catalytic converter and one after, and the onboard computer uses this information to see how much oxygen is leaving to adjust the air fuel ratio. So it could be a bad oxygen sensor, and it usually is the upstream, which you can see right here in this picture. It's right on the manifold. Sometimes it's on the exhaust, a little lower, but it'll be the upstream, the one before the catalytic converter is usually the problem if there is a bad oxygen sensor. So these could be tested. Also the wiring, check the wiring, be sure it's all good. There's no opens or shorts and good connections, that kind of thing. So number 3 right there, bad oxygen sensor. So next up, mass airflow sensor. This one is located right on the air intake box. These very commonly get dirty, like if the air filter hasn't been swapped out or something like that. And they can just be cleaned usually with some mass airflow cleaner. You can buy it at an auto parts store or online. And usually you can just spray them up and clean them and get them working again. They can also be replaced. They're pretty easy to do because they're right on the top of the engine, right on the air intake. You can go get some MAF cleaner, clean it up and see if that solves the issue. So number 4, mass airflow sensor. And if these up here don't solve your problems, then you can start to get more in depth. So next up would be bad fuel injectors. You might have a bad injector and it might be clogged and causing an issue there. Quite often you could swap them out with the known good one and go down the line. A lot of mechanics will do that. There's different ways you could troubleshoot a bad fuel injector, but that's something that could keep in mind is bad fuel injector. And next up would be the fuel pump or fuel filter. If it's not pumping real good, the fuel pump's not pumping good, or the fuel filter's clogged and not be able to pump through, you won't be able to get good pressure in there. And last up is the air filter, which mainly a bad air filter we'll call is like the MAF sensor to go bad or get dirty and not work. So, but that's something to look for is if the air filter is dirty. So that's just some of the common causes and fixes if you have a Chevy Cruze with the P0171. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask me and I'll try to answer them. If this video helps you, please click like, please click subscribe, and have a good day.